All right. So we've got Brian in Washington, D.C., who says he'd like to convert Matt and all his atheist friends to the Catholic Church. You know the evidence. You would lose nothing and gain everything.
Oh, I've been waiting on this.
Brian, you're on with Dragnauct and Matt. Why would you like to convert us, and how would you like to go about it?
Well, first, Matt, thank you so much for having me. I'm a huge fan of yours. And here's the thing. You already know all the arguments for Jesus resurrecting from the dead. I've seen your debates. You're an excellent debater. You know about the empty tomb. You know about his missing body, which we can agree has never been found.
No,
you know about the eyewitness evidence.
Yeah, except what I know is that we don't have any eyewitness accounts, and what we have is a story about an empty tomb, and an empty tomb doesn't prove anything, and a story about a missing body, which doesn't even prove that there was a body or anything else. But you went down this path of if I
let me get my invite. This is an invite. If it's okay, I'd just like to extend the invite. Okay.
Hang on. You get it? Hang on. You went down this path of I already know the evidence and the arguments. And essentially, then you immediately moved to Pascal's wager by suggesting that I would lose nothing and gain everything. Is that true? That if I were just to agree with you now, would I lose nothing and gain everything? Is that really true?
Well, here's my argument. I'm not saying you agree with the evidence. I'm saying you've debated it, so you know what Christians claim about the eyewitness evidence.
Yes.
The martyred apostles.
Yeah.
So my argument is, what is wrong with trying to be a saint? Now imagine if all my atheist friends and everyone in the world, Christians too, of course, because there's a lot of evil Christians, what is wrong with being a saint? I mean, what would our world look like if we can imagine it? So,
well, I would imagine I would imagine that it would look very much like this world, where there are a bunch of people who are within the Catholic Church who are trying to be saints while propping up an organization that is hiding rapists.
Well, Matt, here's the thing. The Catholic Church, obviously, it's one of the largest charity organizations in the United States.
I don't care.
In the worst of the days. Okay, well, here's the thing.
If I'm giving away all my money, but I'm wandering around raping nuns and children, does that make me good?
No, but you don't understand the facts. First of all, you're not giving away all your money.
I do understand. I know the Catholic Church is definitely not giving away all of its money. It's one of the most wealthy things on the planet. We should bankrupt the Catholic Church and give all of its possessions to the poor. That's what we should do.
Well, Matt, here's the thing. I know people are very eager to point out the flaws in the members, which is true. But the fact is that less than 5% of Catholic priests were ever accused of abuse.
Okay.
That's a lower rate than public school teachers.
If it was 1%, the fact that the upper clergymen help hide it. If it was just something that existed at the lower levels here and there and in Oklahoma and wherever else, that wouldn't be such, because it happens in regular churches. The church has a fund dedicated specifically for this. They purposely have been indicted because they have helped move pedophile from parish to parish to parish to parish. It's not like you can minimize it, but if there was one instance of it, that's one too many, man. Like this is the problem with why those of us who aren't religious don't believe y'all when you talk about morals, because, oh, well, we'll just minimize child rape because it makes us look bad. I'm sorry, child rape is bad.
Yeah, we're not as bad as this other one. By the way, that's the two-coquet fallacy. Brian, you're on mute because you started this call off entirely wrong. You started this by telling the call screener that you wanted to convert us because we would lose nothing and gain everything. That is, by the way, Pascal's wager, which I have already pointed out exactly why it is not a reasonable argument at all. And so I tried to ask you, and I tried to focus on, is it true what you say here that I'm going to lose nothing and gain everything? And instead, you start talking about what would the world be like if people were trying to be saints. Well, first of all, I wasn't a Catholic. I was a Southern Baptist. So I thought you were a heathen, a Mary worshiping, saint worshiping, non-biblical heathen, even back when I was a Christian. So you guys could probably sort that stuff out. But when your response to people rightly pointing out that the church that you're advocating for, the one that you attend, the one that you, I'm assuming, probably donate money to, when they're rightly pointing out problems with that organization, that criminal organization, And your response is to say, well, somebody else is worse. And the Catholic Church donates a lot of money to charity. What you are doing is just waving red herrings around, hoping that people forget the actual problem. And here's the problem. I'm going to unmute you, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Does God know what's going on? No, I said I was going to ask you a couple questions. Does God know what's going on?
Okay, don't be so angry. Yes.
Oh, no. I'm going to mute you for a second, because first of all, you haven't never seen me angry. But second of all, if there's anything to be angry about, it's about people who have sacrificed their humanity in order to make excuses for a criminal organization that shields child rapists from prosecution and detection. How dare you accuse me of being angry as if it were the wrong thing to do? Now, does God know what's going on?
Here's the fact.
All right.
Yeah,
bye.
I have facts to respond to you whenever you're ready.
No, you don't. You're done. Because I took you off mute because I had specific questions for you. You're not going to come in here and make excuses that are pathetic. Hey, Dragnauct.
So,
I wanted to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really true that if I start believing in the Catholic Church or the Catholics' view of Christianity, that I will lose nothing and gain everything?
That's bullshit. I'm not sure how you. Well, for one thing, I'm pretty sure people might have an issue with you, running AXP here. I'd have to presume you lose that immediately. But let's not pretend that. On a serious note, when you genuinely have a conversion to a religion, your life fundamentally changes. You have to abstain from doing certain things. So yes, you
have to abstain from acknowledging that the church that you're now a part of is a corrupt criminal organization. That's what I would be giving up. I would be giving up honesty, integrity, the truth, humanism. I would be giving up all of those things for a fiction that or something that a proposed fiction that nobody can demonstrate is actually true.
But you would gain Jesus. Don't you like Jesus?
No, not one bit.
I love these guys, man.
I don't think that the notion of infinite torment for finite crimes is just. I don't think the notion of substitutionary atonement is just. I don't think the notion of original or inherited sin is just. I find the God of the Bible and Jesus to be laughably antiquated and pre-K level thinking in their theology. I am smarter than both of them. I am more moral than both of them. And anybody who thinks that that's just amazingly arrogant is someone who has sacrificed both their intellect and their humanity on the altar of a God that they can't demonstrate.
Ooh, it's hot fire.
Yeah. Make me stay at home longer. Let's see how deep this goes.
I like this. I like it.